Okay, Dee.
Yes, I actually agree with all three of them. I personally feel like a lot of the businesses are already here. And I feel like we need to do more about letting people know what kinds of grants and different things are available for people who maybe don't have necessarily the financing to open. But you definitely have a lot of creative people here, a lot of diversity in business here, because there's a lot of business going out of here into Roanoke. And so there are a large group of people that, even though it's growing, yes it is, and that's a wonderful thing, but we still need to diversify what we offer downtown so that more people can shop and spend money here, and then open it up for maybe those people that don't have the financing to open, but they have the ideas and they can bring what we need in. To me, there are a lot of top challenges, but to conduce it, the top two for me is the first is the youth, and I don't know that I agree with selling this as a retirement community because you have children here. And to me, the problem with that is you have X'd out people that are here. And there are, and a lot of people want to sell this as a place where families come. Well, what makes up a family are the youth. And so we have youth who are on drugs. We have youth who are a lot are misguided. They don't have information. And I think it's our job as a community to make sure all people in the community, from the elderly to the youth to whomever, the retirement, everybody is sufficed. And I think that is the job of a government, is to make sure that all of your residents are well taken care of. The youth, we cannot dismiss them away. They're here. And so our job is to train these youth up, provide programs that are going to equip them to lead one day. And so that's how I feel it's the youth, and then it's the poor. They don't go away. The poor, we have issues here that need to be addressed. And we need to know how, as far as communicating, how to go across lines that maybe we're not comfortable with and talk with the people and hear their concerns. The best way to do that is go where they are. And it doesn't start with an election. It starts because you care. And so I really believe those are issues that we have to deal with. Bouncing off of what he said, if consolidating the school systems was going to mean that that the children were going to be taken care of in a better way, as far as their education, the supplies and the different things that they need, and the teachers are going to be compensated better, if it's going to mean that all of that is taken care of, then I would be for consolidation. Because I think, like he said, ultimately it's about the youth and making sure that they get what they need. I know that there's the rivalry that goes with the two schools as far as the sports and things like that, but I think for far too long, a lot of our concern has been on the sports and not necessarily on their education. And I think that that's going to be very important in a world that's progressing. And so they're going to need the technological things that come with, having the funding and different things so that they can compete with the rest of the world. So I would be for consolidation if that's going to mean that those things happen.
One of the top three assets of the town of Clifton Forge.
I think one of the things that I love about Clifton Forge is definitely the scenery. I think that these mountains are beautiful, especially coming from Washington, D.C. area, and moving here from Columbus, Ohio, where everything is flat. I love the mountains. I love the scenery. I love the fact that there are lots of things to do outside. I love that. The second thing that I like, being a wife and a mother of 4 children, is that there is not the amount of crime in this area. There were 4 things? Or 3? Okay. And 3 is, I believe that there is a lot of possibility with this, but there is a lot of big things that this little small town can do. I see just a lot of possibility because it is so small, and so I'll stop there. I was going to end.
Dee?
I absolutely agree with that. I believe that there are a lot of different ways that we can work intergovernmentally, and I think one of the things that I kind of tend to want to deal with things that we typically don't deal with, and I feel like to not deal with it is not for it to be dismissed. I happen to have a business right on Main Street in Covington, and I face the jail. And I believe we need to work together to have some kind of programs for these people that are being released from prison. First of all, they're being released, they have fines and things that they have to pay by so much time before they go back. And a lot of times they're getting out and there are no jobs. There are a lot of things that we have to talk about, and I feel like it's going to take all of us to work together on those different issues. Even the businesses, a lot of what I found from just having a business in Covington, I love being there, but a lot of times it's like, okay, our business in Covington, we need to work together with the businesses in Covington as well as the businesses in Clifton. I'm always saying, have you tried the club car? I love the club car, so I'm always sharing that. But I think we're going to benefit when we work together with each other. We must learn to communicate and not be scared to hear something different than what we believe should be enacted on. I don't know if that makes any sense.
You don't have to go.
This is the main reason that I am here. This is a topic that I am extremely passionate about. Upon first coming in 2012, I remember setting up a meeting with leadership and letting them know, listen, your children are cutting themselves. Your children are suicidal, and that's black and white. And we have to do something about that. And I can remember the response that I got was not the one I expected, but this was on a Wednesday. By Friday, Brittany Ray was hanging herself in the public park. And this is passionate to me because I was one that was suicidal. And the Lord gave me a life assignment, and it was to answer 3 questions. And this is the basis of the youth lounge that we are opening in Covington, and it's called Inspire. But the basis of that is, who am I? If you do not have an identity, you don't know who you're going to be. You're not identified by where you live, who your parents are. You have a greater identity, and they must know what that is. The second thing is, why am I? If you do not have a purpose, you will do everything but what you were created to do. And so, who am I? Why am I? And then it is, can I? Every single one of us, including our children, have to understand that it takes courage to live. There are going to be challenges. There are going to be things that we face. It takes courage. And so one of the main things that we must do is not just give them activities. We don't want to have things for the children. We want to do things with the children. And if we understand that these young people that are around us, they are full of everything we need. But we have to give them the opportunity to be that. So I'm sorry. I totally support the arts. I am an artist. I sing. I went to the School of the Arts in Washington, D.C., where I studied opera, studied music. I'm also a jewelry designer. I feel like it's an awesome outlet of expression. And we have a lot of children here who are very gifted. Poetry. I have one client, 12 years old. She paints like something you would see out of the Smithsonian. I would like, and I do feel like the council should be involved, and I would like to see it more diversified. You diversify it and you let it appeal to all of the children, and you'll begin to see a lot more support. May I have the question one more time?
Yes. The town's budget has grown dramatically due to water and sewer demands, raises, expenses going up. How would you address these challenges to the average citizen?
I think the most important thing is being honest with people and meeting them where they are, making the effort to go and at least explain. I feel like that we could do a lot with maybe just cutting back some of where the money is going, maybe looking at a lot of the money that's being spent out in salaries and raises. looking at, is it meriting that? You know what I'm saying? Could we look at these raises and these salaries again and say, can we afford to do this? I think that's a conversation we need to have. But I think with people, the biggest problem with people is not a lot of times the information. The biggest problem with people is that they want to feel like you're being honest with them and you care enough to take the time to explain to them. A lot of people don't understand even why the water bill is like it is. They don't know. They just know it's a high water bill. You know what I'm saying? So I think communication is very, very important. And I do think we need to visit salaries and raises. I mean, in a town of, I don't know, I may have this wrong, 3,786 people with a median income, I thought, last I checked, it was 20,000. Could be a little bit more. 32. A lot of the salaries and a lot of the raises that we've been issuing out, we cannot afford. And those salaries, some of the money, and I know this will not be popular, but I don't believe that's why I would sit here. But a lot of those raises, we need to look at that again and see, is this something that we can afford? Because we're looking at people coming in, but we need to look at what we're doing with what's already in. And that's my stance on that.
With the town manager to learn about the town and duties of council members, and in addition, do you support the continuation of our current town manager?
No, I have not met with the town manager in reference to the duties of a town council. I did the research. I looked it up for myself. Do I support? You're talking to someone that has had some experiences with town manager, with council. I would just like to see more respect to everyone. I would like to see more transparency. I would like to see better communication. I mean, that's a really hard, I don't want to be negative, I really don't, but a lot of my experiences have been. And I feel like I'm not the only one. There are a lot of people that do not share a lot of the things that Mayor has spoken about. And I feel like it's a disregard if we do not begin to count everyone's voice, everyone's experience. It's very important because we can put Masonic theaters up all day long. We can beautify the town downtown all day long. We can talk about infrastructure as far as the streets and the water, but we need to look at the infrastructure of our people. People make up a town. In a family, you have a happy wife, you have a wonderful life. You know what I'm saying? You have people that are happy, that everybody can take ownership of the town. You're going to have a much better town, and it's going to be much more attractive to people. But you cannot just only have your mindset of what you feel like the town should be. That only works if you're the only one that lives in it. We have some work to do, and we need to talk about those things.
Amen.